I've been fighting with the UFC for 11 years, and it really came down to now of they have no respect for me at all. You know, they disrespect me left and right, and for a businessman myself, I got to look out for my best interest. And right now, the UFC is not my best interest. The Fertitta brothers are awesome businessmen and really good friends of mine, but Dana White is a person who has pure hatred towards me. So why should I work for a business that someone completely hates me? And Dana White's that person. For my future, I don't know. We'll see after this fight, after I beat Machida, and where I go. There's a lot of other corporations, fight companies that want to, have me represent their company the right way. And I just want someone to really respect me as a fighter and as a businessman. And UFC and Dana White don't do that now. I think the problem started from when it came to realize that they were making a lot of money off each and every fight that I would fight, and I wasn't getting any revenue from it. I was making the exact same money that I've been making for the last 5 years, and it just seems like, once they started making a lot of money, I started looking at it, well, how come I'm not getting cut into this stuff? I mean, they made their money back. Why they ain't paying us fighters? And I came to realize a lot of boxers, they're making, like De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather, they're doing 20 to 30 million per fight, and we're only making $200,000. There's a big difference there. And I really think that and them just disrespecting me the way they have been doing, that having, the bad blood that was on Spike TV, and Dana actually coming down and saying, Tito's not going to be here to fight because he's afraid of me or something, which is complete bullshit. I mean, I've never been a person to back down from anybody, and I'm a businessman. And for that thing that was on Spike TV, it really came down to there was no bout agreement that was in place, and they wanted to take advantage of me. And I'm sick of being taken advantage of them, so now it's just time for me to move on. Well, the motivation now for my fights really come down to my fans. I do it strictly for the fans and do it for my career. I'm not going to quit just because I've lost a couple fights in the last 7 years. It's just one of those things. I lost one fight last year against Chuck Liddell for the title, and I could have said, all right, I'm done with this. I couldn't beat Chuck and whatever. No, I'm not like that type of a thought. I don't have that type of mentality. My mentality is to win and to keep winning. And when I fight Machida, I'll beat someone who's ranked in the world. And I've only lost to 2 people in the last 9 years: Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture, one of the best heavyweight champions of the world and one of the best light heavyweight champions of the world. And not many people are going to beat me. I'm still on top of my game, and what keeps me focused is my fans. I want to make sure that they're proud to call themselves Tito Ortiz fans. Well, the next three to 4 years, I love big fights. I want to fight the best. And with me leaving UFC, who else is the best? I know Frank Shamrock. He beat me 10 years ago, and he's still fighting. I would love to see that fight again. I think that'd be a huge pay-per-view fight that a lot of people that would love to see, and I think that's a really big fight. I got to start looking for some of the guys that are coming up that will be some of the bigger names. Until then, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a Shamrock Tito Ortiz 2 will happen. All I've been focused on for May 24th, live at the MGM Grand, live on pay-per-view, of course. Lyoto Machida is, the guy who I need to beat. It's just one of those things. He has everything to lose. He's undefeated. He has a chance of fighting for a title. And for me, it's all about just beating him. I really want to make Dana bummed. Dana said it on interviews saying that he wishes I would lose. He hopes I lose, and we'll see. Right now, all I'm focusing on is May 24th. That's the biggest thing for me. It's the biggest fight of my life. It's 11 years that lead up to one fight. It really comes down to focusing on doing the right things to beat Lyoto Machida. So my hands raised, all the fans could raise their hands along with me, and knowing that we're on top. With it, great sacrifice comes great reward, and with this one, it really comes down to revenge. And revenge is against Dana. I'm fighting Lyoto Machida, yeah, but to me, personally, I'm fighting against the UFC. It's me versus the company. June 6th, last month I just finished my autobiography, so on June 6th it'll be coming out. The book's called This Is Gonna Hurt, and it's my life story. And a lot of kids will be able to pick it up and read it and see all the trials and tribulations that I've been through in my life of a lot of things out of sacrifice. I was a kid that grew up on the streets, who was raised around gangs. I was in a gang, got jumped in, I got jumped out, watched one of my friends get shot and killed. My parents are drug addicts. They got clean as I got a lot older, but I lived through that life of living in motels, living in cars, living in people's garages. I had a really tough life. Nothing was ever given to me at all. I worked for everything to get where I am right now. Getting into wrestling and moving on was something that kept me into school. When I went to junior college, I got an AA degree, and I went to Division I trying to get my bachelor's, and I fell into fighting. So this book tells the whole story from when I was 6 years old, pretty much up to date.